Hello and welcome to our Wednesday recap of last Sunday's sermon. My name is Tim Beislein. I'm the pastor at Landis Valley Christian Fellowship. And each Wednesday we're going to take a few moments to recap what we talked about. We have started a new sermon series on prayer. It's entitled Moving Mountains, Discovering the Power of Prayer. And it comes to us from Mark chapter 11. And I'll let you read it for yourself and put it into the context of the greater story. But Jesus is, in a sense, is teaching his disciples about having faith and accessing the power of God through prayer. It's important to understand that these verses talk about accessing God's presence and power through prayer. And it comes with a combination of having faith that God will hear our prayers and not necessarily do everything we want, but will do what's best for us according to his will. But it also has to do with having forgiveness in our heart, making sure that we're right with God through his son, Jesus Christ, and we're right with others. And so Jesus basically says that you can say to this mountain, move into the sea, and it will be done for you if you have faith and don't doubt. He says, you can ask for anything in my name, and before you receive it, or he says, if you believe it, you will receive it. It will be yours. That doesn't mean that God says yes to every one of our prayer requests. What it means is that we can tap into God's presence and power because Jesus has given us access to our Heavenly Father. And when the mountains come up in our lives, when we are scaling those insurmountable things that weigh us down, that stress us out, that cause us to worry, we can pray bold prayers. In fact, we can pray for what's possible with God's power flowing in us and through us. And so that's what we talked about this past Sunday. Jesus has given us access to not only God's presence, but God's power in our lives. And we can say to the mountains in our lives, move. And we can trust that God has our best interest in mind, and he will do for us what he thinks is best. And we have to have faith that he loves us that much and that he cares for us that much that he'll do what's best for us. And we have to come into his presence with a clean heart before him, and making sure that we aren't in any kind of conflict or sin relationship with our brothers and sisters. This Sunday, I'd invite you to join us for worship at Landis Valley Christian Fellowship, 9:30 a.m. We're going to celebrate the Lord's Supper together, and you're all welcome to join us at the table. And we're going to begin to explore what does accessing God's power through the Lord's Prayer mean for us as we learn to discipline ourselves to be in God's presence every day through his word and through prayer. So I'd invite you to join us. We're at 2420 Kissel Hill Road, and we'd love to see you Sunday mornings, 9:30 a.m. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll connect with you next week as we recap our Sunday morning sermons right here. Take care.